What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your boy TTG here, and we're back with another video. Before we get into today's content, I need you to click the subscribe button right now. Right now. It's free. I'm tired of playing with y'all. And yeah, I'm fitting to be myself on here. I'm tired of being like boring. Just monotone. I'm fitting to give you some energy. So for that energy in return, I need you to subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, and comment were you surprised Carson Beck withdrew his name from the NFL draft. All right. Thank you guys for doing that. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So before we get started on what the video is really about, let's just give you a little timeline of Carson Beck's decision making here. So, and I'm going to pop up tweets and stuff right here that correspond with what I'm talking about. So Carson Beck, season ends. He's hurt. He has to have Tommy John or whatever surgery on his UCL. The future is very much in doubt for Carson Beck after the SEC championship game against Texas. He announces on December 28th, if I'm not mistaken, that's right after the Sugar Bowl loss to Notre Dame. Let me see. Okay, they played on the 2nd. So he had actually announced before the game that he was going to the NFL draft. And I thought to myself, why is Carson Beck going to the NFL draft? Didn't have a great year this year, just being honest. You can definitely see the talents there. And the ability to be great is there. There's no doubt in his ability, in my opinion. The decision making, the progression through his routes, etc. There's room to work there for sure. But he didn't have the best year. So, at best, I'm thinking you're talking about, especially coming off an elbow injury like that, you're talking at best case scenario, probably second, third round pick. And the going rate for a good veteran starting college quarterback, it's probably higher than what you're going to make in the NFL in a year, just being honest. So on December 28th, he says, I'm going to the NFL. Georgia fans are, bidding their farewells, wishing him well, wishing him good luck. As anybody would, I would do the same. January 9th rolls around, and this is at around 2 p.m. Rumors start flying around that he's going to enter the transfer portal. And yeah, I saw this. I made a video about this on TikTok. If you follow me on TikTok, then I was early on this. So allegedly, and I'm going to say allegedly because I don't know for sure. We're going to talk about the pros and cons at the end. Allegedly, as soon as the rumors start flying around, Georgia's on the phone, and then his second call is from Alabama. Now, Georgia and Alabama fans, like I've seen on TikTok, are going to tell you this is not true. They're getting their source from insiders. Of course, people inside the program are going to tell people that they didn't reach out to Carson Beck because it looks bad. Why does it look bad? It looks bad because if you're Gunnar Stockton and you're sitting there, well, dang, they have no faith in me. They're reaching back out to Carson Beck, trying to get him to come back. If you're Ty Simpson, who is the de facto, starter at Alabama, going to be in 2025, you're looking around like, dang, they have no faith in me here either. Why am I even here? They don't think I could be the starting quarterback. They're calling Carson Beck. That's why. Once you miss on him and you don't get him, then you're extinguishing fires. You don't want that getting out. Obviously, that just makes sense. So what are people inside the program going to tell the insiders? We never called him. Of course we never called him. Now, I'm not saying they did call him because I'm not for sure they did. And at some point, it really doesn't make sense for at least Alabama to be calling him. I think they have almost zero shot of landing him. But, of course, like I'm saying, I'm not going to get my news from the Bama and Georgia insiders. Obviously, they're going to be biased. Regardless. So, allegedly, he gets those 2 phone calls. And then later on that day, this is what somebody else tried to tell me on TikTok. He entered with a no contact clause. They can't contact him. He didn't enter the portal till 6 p.m. officially. Entering the portal takes time, and he has to be in contact with somebody at the University of Georgia to do that. Every school has their designated officer, whatever you want to call them, personnel, that enters people in the portal for him. So he may have made a decision at 2 and announced, hey, I'm entering the portal. He still has to get on the phone call, submit the paperwork, and all that. By 6 p.m., he was officially in the portal with a do not contact clause. So at that point, he's probably already talked to Alabama and Georgia. He knows where he's going. Then the next day around lunch, he makes what we all thought official. He's going to Miami. Now, let's break down his decision a little bit. Why Miami? Why did he choose Miami? One, he's an instant starter, day one starter. We saw what they have in the quarterback room in the bowl game. Emory Williams, no offense, garbage. Dude's trash. So Miami, you saw them pursue multiple quarterbacks in the portal, even though Miami fans will tell you that's not true. They absolutely did pursue at least the Washington State quarterback. I think John Mateer, whatever his name is. Let me look up his name, so because I know y'all are going to be on my butt in the comments. Hold on. Yeah, John Mateer. So I guess that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. I know they at least pursued him. But one, he's an instant starter. It goes without saying that if you're rehabilitating your elbow, you're trying to improve your NFL draft stock, you're going to need to play the game, right? You're going to need to be a starter. So that's one reason. Two, this little cute thing here, I'm going to put her here. His girlfriend is at Miami. Now, not only is she at Miami, because after this year, I'm almost positive, it seems like they've been in college forever, the Cavender twins, that is. I'm almost positive they're out of eligibility. So would it really matter? Because he's on campus now, but by the time the season rolls around, they're probably not going to be on campus. Well, the thing is, the whole family moved there from what I gathered, moved to Florida. Maybe not Miami, but they're in the general vicinity. Three, money. Miami's got money. I'm not afraid to admit it. They're not broke boys. They, according to what I have read, they offered him and he signed for $4 million. That's good money. And number four, this is another thing. The success of Cam Ward made the Miami, destination for a transfer quarterback desirable. They have a pretty good offensive coordinator. They got some key additions out of the portal. They play in the ACC, so we'll get to that later, the conference. But yeah, all that's favorable. You saw what they did with Cam Ward. You're hoping you can replicate that at Miami if you're Carson Beck. Now, let's talk about why he would leave Georgia. One, Gunnar Stockton. It seems like the locker room, the fan base, and maybe even the coaching staff have, set their sights on Stockton for 2025. Think it's a good move. You were already assuming Beck was going to the draft. You've seen him announced before the Sugar Bowl. So you're putting all your chips in on Gunnar Stockton. Hey, Beck's no longer in the picture. And two, another reason why he would leave Georgia is he was making money, so it's not money. I think he just didn't have a great year. And the fan base was kind of on his butt. You know what I mean? And on his butt, I want to say an expletive, but I'm not going to. Fan base is kind of on his butt. And I don't want to say it, but I saw a lot of fans in the comments that weren't Georgia fans saying he's trying to get away from Bobo. I'm not so sure that's the case. If Kirby Smart has faith in Bobo, I'm sure the fan base should probably still have faith in Bobo. We'll see. If you're a Georgia fan, let me know in the comments. Do you still have faith in Mike Bobo? Do you? I don't know. Maybe he's trying to run from Bobo. That's what people were saying anyway. But the fan base and Gunnar Stockton, I think, are two reasons why he was, trying to hit the heels. Not that the fan base was toxic to him. Before he entered the portal, he could have, let's say he doesn't announce he's in the portal. The fan base still loves him for what I read. I think the fan base during the season was kind of, like, hey, Beck, what are we doing? There was a couple games where he threw multiple interceptions that were bad and kind of put him in some binds. Anyway, now, finally, why did he not choose Bama? And I'll give you a few reasons, I think. One, you're going to be playing in the SEC. And normally kids flock to the SEC because that's where the best competition is. Beck's already proven that he can play in the SEC. Now, he didn't play great this year, but the year before, he was pretty good. Let's be honest. He was a top draft boards and a top Heisman conversations for a reason because the talent's there, and he performed well in his junior year, I guess. I think he's a super senior now. Playing in the SEC, if you go to Miami, you get to play in the ACC. It's favorable. I'm just going to be honest. You look at Miami's schedule this past year. They played Florida. We were bad when we played them. I mean, they torched us. But you play a lot of defenses that probably are not as good as, let's say, the SEC or Big Ten. Another second reason, I don't think he likes Bama that much. Let's be honest. If you're a Georgia Bulldog fan, and I think Carson Beck has Georgia Athens running through his veins, I'm just going to be honest. I think he loves Georgia. I think he was a true dog. He probably does not like Bama that much. He probably has some disdain in his heart for Alabama. And thirdly, it seems like since Kalen DeBoer has been there, it's not the same Bama, obviously, but it seems like players are leaving at a rapid rate. I'm not so sure he was confident that if he committed, he was going to have playmakers there at receiver and running back to help complement his offense and raise that draft stock. Again, you're playing in the SEC. You need cream of the crop. You need the best of the best to be able to compete and have great seasons. So, anyway, basically the point of this video was to put out there the facts. From the first part of this is what I can read are facts. when he declared, when he announced he was going to enter the portal, when he officially entered the portal, and when he signed with Miami. Those are all facts. Now, things that are alleged, he's getting calls from Bama and Georgia. I think they could be true. Now, like I said, if you listen to Georgia and Alabama beat writers, they're going to deny it. Obviously, if Florida had contacted him and we didn't get him, we're gonna deny it as well. We got DJ Lagway. It's a bad look for any other quarterback on roster. That if we don't get him, why are we contacting other quarterbacks? We have no faith in our guys. So obviously, Florida would have denied it too. I'm not. This isn't to single out Georgia and Bama. I just think it's interesting that there are reports, and this guy is a good source. He's been right in the past. I can't remember his name. I'll have to look it up in a little bit. But he's not with On3 Sports. He's with like USA Today or something. So he's not like a beat writer from Alabama or Georgia or even Miami that's just putting this out there for fun to get clicks. I think he really does have a source that said that. Now, whether that's true or not, I'll let y'all decide. But yeah, I'm just going to be honest. I'd be disappointed if I'm Georgia or Alabama if we didn't reach out to him, because both our quarterbacks are heading out. Carson Beck is the quarterback heading out from Georgia. Why not contact him? That's a veteran arm you can have, or at least some veteran leadership you can have in the locker room. Same thing with Bama. He's got to be at least as good as Ty Simpson right now. And he's played in the SEC before. We see the talent is there. Of course, you're not doing your due diligence as a coach if you don't reach out to him. That's just my thoughts on it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. The timeline's pretty much set in stone. That's what I found on Twitter. But everything else is subject to opinion, and I want to know what you guys think. Anyway, if you like this kind of video, like the video, subscribe, click the bell notification, and have a great week. The national championship is almost here. My breakdown will be tomorrow, I think, on YouTube. Have a good one.